Hello and welcome to the Miss Bankable Show, where we equip kingdom entrepreneurs to start, build, and grow bankable businesses God's way. And I am your host, the voice that you are hearing. My name is Sadé Banks, and I'm also known as Miss Bankable. I'm a business building expert, I'm an international speaker, and I'm a licensed minister for the Lord Jesus Christ. And I wanted to come on here today and answer some of the age old questions concerning the logo, the physical representation of your business. So today we're going to be going over some things that your logo should consist of, as well as I'm going to show you guys how to choose the best graphic designer for your logo and also how to get it at a good, decent, and fair price. Okay. So before we get into today's content, I want to remind you to make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of those things. We want to get this out to as many kingdom entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs as we can. Okay. And also, the second housekeeping thing I want to cover is if you want to know, if you are new to business and you want to know how to build a bankable business, a bankable brand, then I want you to go ahead, go to my website, www.missbankable.com. Again, that is www.msbankable.com, and sign up for my free webinar from zero to bank. In this webinar, you'll learn the 5 keys every business needs to overcome small business failure and unlock your bankability. The scripture tells us to ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open to you. So by you signing up, getting access to this webinar, you're going to get a whole nother revelation, a whole nother understanding of all that it requires to build a profitable business and sustainable as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As I said, today we are going to be talking about logos. So give me a second. All right. So this is my logo for the Kingdom Visionary Academy. Just in case you do not know, I also own and operate an online academy for kingdom entrepreneurs, and this is some things that we go over and that we discuss. So first, some things that I want to talk to you about a logo is, the first thing is that your logo, it must be memorable. Okay, so when you see a logo, let me show you guys this one, right? So when we look at our top logos that we know, such as Apple, Google, Pepsi, Twitter, some things that you may notice about their logos are they are very simple. Now, some people like logos that are simple because, first of all, they're less expensive to create. Amen. And when you're first starting out in business, you want to keep your expenses as low as possible. But these are memorable. They relate to their products, they relate to their services. And because oftentimes one of the things that I had struggled with doing logos was always making them a way too complicated. That's something that I've struggled with. I've been an entrepreneur on and off since I was a child, but really dealing with logos for about the past 10 years. And the logos that are super complicated, they're hard to put on products. They don't look good when you print them. So one thing that I do suggest is that if you want to go with a more simplistic model, you'll run into less havoc. And I hate to use havoc, but that is for lack of a better term that's coming to my mind now. But you'll come out to be dealing with a lot less stress, trying to make sure that your logo looks good on different products, looks good when it's printed out, things of that nature, right? So just because your logo is simple, that does not mean that it's not memorable. And also, when we're talking about your logo being memorable, it must connect to your product or to your service, right? So if you sell sneakers, we can't use Nike because it's just a check mark. That's, these are logos. I'm just using these logos as an example. These are logos that are, billion-dollar brands. I'm just using this example to show you that logos can be simplistic and also memorable, okay? But when we're talking about your logo, you want to make sure also that it is in alignment with your brand. It relates to your products and services. So as I was saying, if you sell sneakers, it would be a good idea to have some type of thing that represents footwear, whether that be a sneaker, whether that be a shoe, whether that be a foot, okay, or even because the logo has multiple components. You can have words, okay, you can have graphics, you can have actual pictures or symbols in the logo. So if it is for a sneaker company, you may want to put something that is a representative of shoe wear in there. Or also in the name, you can have Steve's Shoes and perhaps the check mark. Now, don't use the Nike check mark because you will get sued. It's called trademark infringement, right? But you can put your representative of what you sell either in the actual pictorials, such as my eagle here, such as my mountain, or you can put it in the name, okay? But you want to make sure that your logo connects with what your business represents, because if not, people will see your logo and they will get confused and they will not know. I personally chose this logo because anytime that you associate different colleges, different universities, they always have the Roman leaves and the shield, and so this is common among academies. That's why I chose this logo, right? And so those are just some things to keep in mind. I have my notes up here that keep popping up that I really don't want anybody to see, but whatever, right? Such is the live life. Another thing is you want to make sure that your logo, you want to make sure that your logo is scalable. So even if we look now, when I'm talking about scalability, let's bring back up Apple, right? And so we have the Apple logo. Well, Apple has a diverse amount of products. They sell the earbuds, they sell the phones, they sell the laptops. If you have just one of your products inside of your logo, well, then what about when you want to diversify to multiple products? If you're selling hair, what about if you also want to diversify out to selling lashes, or diversify out to bringing in actual physical products when you want to sell shampoos or makeup products, right? So you want to make sure that your logo is not so simplistic that it's not memorable, but you also want to make sure that it is able to grow with you as your brand grows, okay? One of the dangers is if you do build up, and this is a thing I want to let you guys know too, don't be ashamed or feel uncomfortable about changing your logo up in your beginning stages. Why? Because nobody really knows you yet. So you want to make sure, if you are out there and you have a logo that you just hate, that it's not really memorable, or you're having a lot of complications with it, it's okay to go ahead and choose something else, okay? I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now, as your business grows and expands, yes, it will become a whole lot more expensive to reprint labels, put them on new products, put them up on a new website, different things of that nature. But these are just some things you want to keep in mind. Now, I have spent a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time, and a whole lot of stress and strain concerning logos. So that's why I'm bringing this information to you guys as well. So again, if this is blessing you, please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, go back through the replay because I have the tendency, being from New York State, I have the tendency to talk quite fast. So you'll want to go back and listen back over to this information, and I guarantee you'll find some additional nuggets in there that you have not heard before. And so, all right, so I want to show you guys a website that you can go on where you can get logos ranging anywhere from $5 to $100 to $200, right? So give me 1 second. All right. Okay, so the website that you can go to, it is called Fiverr. So that's let me open up because I saved these screens for a purpose. www.fiverr.com, fiverr.com. And I love Fiverr. Is one of my go-tos when I want to get just a cheap product out. Something cheap out that's not going to cost me a whole lot of money. I'll go to fiverr.com. And so what you want to do is when you go to fiverr.com, you want to type into the search bar logo design. Now, some things that you want to consider when you do logo design is when you're looking for a specific, okay, let me describe first what Fiverr is. Fiverr is a collection of graphic artists web designers, people from all over the world that are able to do odd end jobs for entrepreneurs. So they can do transcription, website development, get your ads on Google, things of that nature. These people from all over the world. So take advantage of that. I mean, $5 US to us could be $25. I know in China, our $1 is eight of their dollars. So $5 to us is what, $45 over in China to them, right? So you want to be able to go on this website and really take advantage of that. I mean, one of the things you want to do to be successful in business is to lower your costs without sacrificing your quality. So if you are able to get a logo that is of great quality, but you only paid $30-$40 US for it, then by all means, I mean, go ahead and do that. So one thing I do want to warn you about Fiverr, though, is that you do get what you pay for. So, even though I'm saying, yeah, you want to take advantage of getting the $5 logo, you also have to keep in mind how simple do you want your logo? Do you want your logo to have different elements in it, different fonts, things of that nature? You want to make sure that you don't really just pay $5 for a logo. All right. Depending on, especially if your brand is something that is of quality, like you're selling items that are medium to high income range, then you don't want to get a $5 logo. All right. So that's my first warning on Fiverr, is you get what you pay for. The other thing is that you want to do is that you definitely want to check the reviews of your potential sellers. So let me see if my internet is back up and running for this website. Okay, great. So what you want to do is you want to check see how many people that they have actually serviced, and the highest amount of stars that you can get on Fiverr is 5. So this person, out of 261 reviews, they have an average of a perfect score. Okay. So that's definitely something really important. You don't want to be paying $60 for a logo for somebody that only has perhaps 1 or 2 reviews. I mean, this person has proven and shown that they are, out of 241 reviews, that don't even include everybody that they service, because everybody doesn't leave a review, right? So out of 241 reviews, they've gotten a perfect 5 stars for $60. This is a high quality seller here. This is a high quality person that you perhaps may want to do business with. So again, you get what you pay for. That's first. Second, you want to make sure that you look at their reviews. Okay. And so to look at their reviews, you can just go ahead and click in their gig. Click in their portfolio. Okay. It tells you right here that they have 49 orders in the queue. So what does that mean? That literally means that they have 49 logos that they need to create. Now, what's the problem with that? If you need a logo immediately, okay, it may take, no telling, it may take longer for you to get the logo, because they have to complete 49 orders. In addition to that, some of these graphic artists, they have unlimited revisions, right? And so if they have unlimited revisions and they have 49 in the queue, you may not get your logo for about another week or so. So that is something to consider as well. So let's go down and look at their reviews. Okay. So here are some of their reviews here. Deliver great work. I did not really know what I wanted and was sent some options to choose from. Da 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 da. You have people he's servicing from all over the world. Okay, so this guy is good for you. You're just not gonna get your logo right off the bat. Now, I do want you to know here that it says 2 days delivery. Like I said, they are able, and they have unlimited revisions. So he is able, if he needs to, although it says 2 days here, if he needs an additional 4 days, he can request that from you. Okay, so again, if you are pressed for time, these are just some things that you need to keep in mind. Now, a lot of these, I would say, contractors, they have different tiers to their services. So this is his basic. Okay, then he has a standard, and then he has the premium of $130, right? And so you want to make sure that you thoroughly understand. It is okay to go ahead, send them an email before you actually purchase their services, to go ahead and shoot them an email here at Contact Seller and ask them a few questions if you do not understand what logo transparency is, or what a vector file is, right? Now because we are in tutorial mode right now, a vector file, that is the original source file. So that brings me into tip number 3. When you go to get your logo created, you want to make sure that you get a png.png. Again, at the end, the file extension of your logo that is delivered to you needs to be .png, because that means that your logo is transparent. So you'll be able to put your logo on any type of background and not have a big white square in the back of it. You guys, that is so tacky. Like, please get a PNG file. All right. So that means logo transparency. The vector file, that means the original file that he used to design your logo. He or she, right? Hey, women out here doing big things too. So the vector file. So if you ever need to make any changes to your logo, if you need to take your logo and give it to another graphic designer, then they will be able to make the changes that you need. So that is highly important. You need your .png and you need your original vector file. High resolution, that tells you about the quality of the logo, so it won't be grainy. Like if you need to stretch or resize your logo, if it's in high resolution, it's not going to be grainy. It's still going to be very clear, very prominent and potent in its look and its aesthetic, wherever you put it, whatever size that you make it. Okay. So here he has 2 initial concepts included. That means that if you don't have no clue what you want your logo to be, then you can go ahead, and he might have like a basic form asking you, hey, what are your colors? What do you sell? Tell me about your business. What is your website? So that way he can get more of a general feel of what you may be looking for. So he will give you 2 original concepts that you're able to choose from and able to give different suggestions to and get revisions on. Okay, so he does give you, $60. I mean, he does have this is a pretty good legit package, and that price is super fair compared to if you go to a graphic design artist that is not on Fiverr. They're going to want the minimum $100, $125, $150, $300. Okay. And they would give you this same amount of information, and you better believe they are not going to give you unlimited revisions. That I can tell you. That's one of the reasons why I love coming to Fiverr, and while I suggest to my clients to go to Fiverr as well. So just look at these. He appeals to, from what I can see, he appeals to luxury. Yeah, that's what it says here. Luxury minimalist logo. So if you have a high quality brand where your products and your services are above average market pricing, where the average market may be charging $100 for this product, but you're charging $150, then that will be considered a higher tier or a luxury brand. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a luxury logo. Okay. So he's dealing in colors, gold and black and things of that nature. Okay, so that's him, right? So the other thing that you want, we said check reviews. We said you get what you pay for, and you need to be able to understand these packages. The other thing is you need to know, because artists are different. These graphic artists are they are artists, and they have different talents depending on their aesthetic. You have some graphic artists that are very cartoony. So if you want a cartoon logo, perhaps of yourself doing something, if you're a cook and it's you as a cartoon in your hat with your spatula, you're going to want to get a graphic artist that is skilled at doing cartoons. So I actually found, so here we have Sun Shi. Sun Shi does cartoon logos. Okay. Now, Sun Shi has, this is really nice. Good work. So Sun Shi charges $25. But again, you need to look at their basic, their standard, and their premium. Okay. So they call these type of mascot logos, right? So you're going to want to make sure we're not even entertaining that one, but we want to make sure that you pick a graphic artist that is going to be able to meet the vision that you have for the logo and the vision for your brand. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. The next thing that you want to be able to look at is you need to know your branding colors, or what they call the hex colors. Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to show you guys what that means. Another resource that I love to use is canva.com. I and my volunteer, I have been blessed to have a volunteer that helps me now to make my memes. Let's see here. Let me just pick a random meme that she recently created for me. All right, girl. Yes, I didn't see this one yet. I'm a little excited because she does such great work. Okay, so when I'm talking about hex codes, you guys see blue, you see red, you see orange, you see all of these colors, but every color has an exact specific number. That way, your brand can be consistent on all platforms. The colors you use can be consistent on all platforms. It's tacky, you guys, to have 4 or 5 different blues unless that is purposeful going all throughout your branding. It shows an inconsistency in your brand, right? And you want to build up brand trust. How do you build trust? It's through consistency. I am dropping some really good nuggets here. Please go ahead, like, comment, share. Like, comment, share. If you on my YouTube, please make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. This is the Miss Bankable Show, where we equip kingdom entrepreneurs to start, build, and grow bankable businesses God's way. And I'm your host, Sadé Banks. I'm a business building expert. I'm a licensed minister, and I'm here today delivering you guys some excellent content on how to make sure you choose the best logo. You can visit me at www.missbankable.com for my latest articles, to book a business consultation with me, or also to see the different products that I offer. So let's go ahead and get back to what we were discussing, hex codes, right? And so you see this yellow. If I'm going into Canva, you see this ID number, hashtag, a hex number is always going to start with a hashtag FFD 700, right? So that is my specific color for yellow. So in any meme that I create on my website, anywhere that I go and I want to use my yellow, I'm going to make sure that I have that hex code. So that is information that you are going to want to get from to your graphic artist. So it's a good idea to already have in mind the colors that you want, the specific colors that you want, and to know your hex codes. Canva is free. You can go to www.canva.com. Fiverr is also free to build up an account. All right. To be able to get this information, your hex codes. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to consider is that you need multiple versions of your logo. Okay, so because your logo is not going, the logo that you have is not going to look good on every single product or on your website. Sometimes if you want to do a letterhead, right? Like if I want to do a letterhead for my logo, this doesn't look good on a letterhead. So I actually have a second version of my logo where it's just my crest, my emblems, my 2020, and my bay leaves. Like it doesn't include Advancing the Kingdom of God through Entrepreneurship, or it doesn't include the Kingdom Visionary Academy. It doesn't include that, right? So because this is for on my letterhead, there's a specific look that I want for my letterhead. So it's always good to have your logo and then to have it a different version. For some of you, it may be, say if your logo is all black. But what about if you want to be a guest speaker somewhere, you want to be featured on the website and their background is black, well, you can't use an all black logo because they won't be able to see your logo. So maybe you just might want a black and a white version of your logo, right? So you need at least 2 versions of your logo. Again, if this is blessing you, please like, comment, share, subscribe. All right, to the Miss Bankable Show. And the final thing that I want you guys to know about a logo is that you need to be able to consider when somebody gives you an original source file, you're going to want to make sure that is a Photoshop original file. So when they say a source file, because you got to know what you're talking about. If your source file at the end extension of your file says JPEG, that's not the source file. If it says PNG, that's not the source file. If they are using Photoshop, it's going to be .psd, PSD, P as in Peter, S as in Saint, D as in Daniel. Okay, so I really pray that this has blessed you, that this has given you a lot of information on what you need to do in order to use the best logo for your business, the things that you need to consider. Remember that your logo, that it must be memorable. If you want to do simple, it can still be memorable. You want to make sure that it's scalable, that is able to grow with your business, with your brand. Also, you want to make sure that when you're new starting off in business, that it is okay to switch your logo, to change up your logo, because nobody knows you yet, right? Until you get the logo that really looks good, that's easily printable, that looks good on your letterhead, looks good on your products, your services, and your website. You're going to also make sure that you want to know your hex codes, your branding colors. And with this information, you should be able to go with everything I've given you. You should be able to go on Fiverr, sign up, create your account, purchase, be able to find the right graphic artist for you, and make you finding your logo a successful for you. Okay, you'll be able to avoid a lot of the pitfalls that I did, and a lot of the money that I wasted too over these 10 years. So with that being said, I thank you so much for tuning into the Miss Bankable Show. Don't forget to visit me at www.missbankable.com. Sign up for a business consultation, read my latest blogs. I'm most happy to see you guys come in. I'll go back, check over your comments. Bless you on today, and I will see you on next Tuesday. Have a blessed day and a good night. Bye-bye.